Welcome to the channel. We back at it. My GoPro kind of gave out, so it missed all the top part, but I can pretty much walk you back through it. So first you want to take off this fuel pump. You're going to take off your two back bolts. It's going to dangle. And if you haven't already, you want to drain your gas tank. You're going to take off that hose, let it drain into like a extra gas can. Once it's completely done draining, you could take it all the way out. Unhook it here, disconnect this from the top of the tank. All your other connectors should come off as one. The fuel pump just has these two. Then you're gonna have to remove this one from the very bottom. Like I said, it's pretty much it right here. All right, so I say then you're gonna disconnect this from that cap, and boom, your fuel pump's out. Kind of drain the last of the gas that's inside there, up out of there. And then we could get on to the getting. Next, we're gonna take off that one, and we're gonna remove this top one as well. Keep everything where you could get back to it quick, fast, without being all in the way. So next, after you get all that loose, your tensioner. It's a 12 mil bolt. You're gonna take it loose, spin it all the way out, and when you get it all the way out, you're gonna have, let me dig in here. All of this stuff here is the parts I need. You will need. Boom. I'm just gonna pull it out. And I have it just sitting up here so nothing falls or goes anywhere. After you pull it out, Allen, these two bolts out of there, just loose enough to where you could pull it out and there's slack in your timing chain. All right, next we're gonna pull this hose. We're gonna pull your spark plug out. You're gonna pull that off. Then you'll have to take these two loose. I just like to put my bolt back in there. Now, let me get this in here real quick. Boom. Now, we're gonna get these up out of here. Now, I have a torque bit. So, let me find that and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I found my torque bit and it's a T40. That's what the one I use for the top of here. So, loosen up one. Loosen. We'll get it out of there. I've did that before. Just don't do that. Don't do what I just did. Like I'm gonna show you, since it's in there, I'm gonna show you how you're gonna get that bad boy up out of there too. Once you get them two bolts off, don't lose the oil rings that goes here. Let me try to set this up. I'm on my iPhone now, so maybe it'll do better. There we go. And take off the back first. Then you're gonna, what I like to do is pop each one up. And just pull it out of there. Do it without breaking it. Would be by far the best way. And since we have this now open, boom. That's why I don't really hesitate now when stuff falls in that little spark plug hole, because it isn't that deep and I can retrieve usually anything that falls in there. Next, we're gonna jump to a 10 mil. If I can get it to show up. 10 mil. I was gonna, yeah, I just do it. I'm only gonna take off the exhaust side. So what I like to do is, I like to put a zip tie up here at the top. And this is to be sure that your cam doesn't come out of time. And I get back, I even show you my timing now, just so we can all be on the same page. This is a 17 mil nut. Only turn it to the left when you're trying to set your time. What I've learned is, this needs to turn at least twice. Because this counterbalancer, if you turn it once, I think it's gonna set high. If you turn it again, it's gonna set low. But you will know, because let me see my arrow? See my line? When you go to do it, it won't sit there. It either set like more over to here or more over here. But when you get it, the counterbalancer to set right where it needs to be, it is set directly on this line that my timing marks. There, one at the top. There, that one at the top. There's 15 links between these. See how loose that bad boy is? Now watch this. Now get back on up here to the top. Like I said, I'm only gonna take the exhaust side out because it's gonna be the same for both sides. Now, you're gonna take these loose in a crisscross style. I like to just turn them till they pop. That lets you know that they're loose. So when I pull it completely off of there, I can do it all by hand. The reason I say do it by hand, because that's just how I do it. And this is gonna help you out way more. Keep that one close to you, because you'll be coming back to that. It says 11 on the top, but this is definitely a 10 mil. Don't pay that no attention. Boom. Everything's loose. Now, what you're gonna do now? Just gonna get us a little bit of a rock, pull her out of there, set her to the side. Dowels. Do not lose the dowels. And where they are when you pull them off, put them back. I want to get all four. I don't know if I'm supposed to have all four. Mine just has 2 on each side, and they're in the same spot, like here and here, and it's here and here. So I didn't add more. I can get more. I have extras. I just didn't add them in there. But now that you know that you're in time, you got your cam loose. Now watch this. I'm gonna show you something that I've learned along the way. Try to zoom in some so my phone don't fall on y'all. Boom. You're gonna take this cam underneath. You're gonna come underneath. And here in the back, I like to put my finger in the hole. What you're gonna do now is just gonna rock it. Rock it, rock it, rock it, rock it. And so as you're rocking it, it's gonna be coming up and down, up and down. You can see that you're working that slack in there. You're just trying to pretty much work a slack spot in this cam so it'll pop out. Be sure your rocker, your cam ring don't come out. Hold on. Pull it up. Oh, there we go. Always be sure you have slack in it. And just gonna pull it straight out. Like so. You're gonna readjust this cam ring when you put the cam in. Just be sure it doesn't come out, it doesn't fall out. Just keep tabs on everything. Next step, you're gonna get your magnet. Have your shim kit handy. You zoom back out. There we go. Get your shim kit handy, and it's gonna be the HC Shim 02 kit. It's the one for this bike. I got me a Titan magnet. And all I like to do is I just grab one. Sometimes it's a little bit of a rock. Sometimes they stick to the bowl. Sometimes they don't. Just pretty much, you just want this cam to stick out the way. Pull it out and hold it. And This one's a 220. You can't see that, but it's a 220. And let's say, you know what? Let's not say. It's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put this back in there so I do not lose it. Nothing gets dirty. Gonna set it there. And when it comes to these caps, don't force anything. Mine kind of takes a rock because it has a sweet spot in it. It's gonna rock and line up. Now I'm gonna set this just over here. It's not in place. We're gonna check the specs on the intake side. This is just to give you a clearance, not clearance, just to give you a visual of how you would check either side and every single one. You refer to your book, but in inches over here, it should be between 0.004 inches and 0.008 inches. The exhaust should be between 0.008 inches and 0.12 inches. 0.6 on the exhaust and 0.10 on the exhaust is perfect. I have the 0.6 right here. Actually, no, I'm gonna jump up to a 0.7. I just want you to see what you're not supposed to be doing. All right, got my 0.7 here. Now watch this. See how even with the slight push, it just sticks. See, well, when it comes to mine, I don't like that. So we know that one's too big. So we're gonna go all the way down to the 0.6 and watch the difference. 7 down to the 0.6. Sorry about that. These things are new and they're sticking together. This is the 0.006. Kinda can read that. There we go. Now watch this. Like butter. It has some tension going in, but it's because it's just here at the lip. That's what you want right there. The valve doesn't move. Perfect. So you know that's how you check that side. Now, back to this exhaust. Let's say the exhaust side is supposed to be at 0.10 and you're sitting at like a 0.8. Technically, you're still in spec. You're just a bit tight. You're a bit tight. You want more air letting out than what is getting in. Always keep that in mind. It should be more air going out than what's coming in. So let's say, we're just gonna say this was down to a 0.005. Boom. Now, most people think that's just one shim size to push you where you need to be. False. Now, if we know that we're at a 0.005 and we need to get to a 0.010, as we take this out, see that time it stayed. As we take this out, and usually sometimes this has the size written on it if they're fairly new, but if not, you're gonna grab your micrometer. Zero my baby out, open her up. See that, right? So now you should refer to your book. Cause see, this is a 0.21 a 2.1 shim, right? Technically, this is a 2.20 shim. So my micrometer is off by 0.1. I know that. You have to make sure your tools are right. It's always been that way since the day I bought it, and it just doesn't calibrate for shit. But I know it's off by 1. So now, you would have to decide. You could start at a 2.20, 2.25. That's really only sizes there are. And then see if you can start at, I'll start at the lower side. So we're at a 2.2 now, and we need to get, we're at a 2.20. We're measured out at a 0.005. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab that shim kit. Grab that shim kit. Come on over here. And since we know, well, we know this is a 220, we would literally start at the 220s. See, 2.2, 2.2. It's either one of these sizes right here. It's what just gonna tell you that's inside the bike now. So if you're needing to go down, personally, I would go down one shim at a time till you get where you need to be. Mine is it's a .002 per shim size I drop, even though they're in .05 sizes between each. Where is it at? Yeah, 0.05 increments, and let's see what else I think. These are the 9.48 mil. Always keep that in mind. 9.48 mil. Catching a cold out here. But back to what I was saying. So you'll go down to shim size at a time. So we'll go from the 220 down to the 215. Put it all back. Check it. Only one shim at a time. Don't do both of these. You're going to get so confused. You're going to mix them up, get them cross-tangled. Only do one at a time. One shim at a time, one shim size at a time. Once you get that one where you need to be, then you could jump down to the same size, even it out, and see if that works here. Then if you're still short, go down one, or if you're too big, go up one. Get yourself to that .10 mark. Now, let me close these up. Wind starting to pick up before it blows them everywhere. I'd be pissed. There. So now that we know that we did all our homework and we need the 2.20 in there, we're gonna get all our stuff back. Now, here's the important part. Let me grab the important stuff. Boom. Don't go light on this shit. Put it everywhere. Everywhere. It isn't gonna hurt a goddamn thing. This is gonna be your lifesaver. No draw starts. Everything should be hit with this as you're putting back. So as you can see me putting right now. So what I would do, I usually just put just a little drip right there. Boom, boom. And kind of rub on the outside. Not really a lot. Rub my finger in it. Get it all nice and coated up. I just drop it in place. Right, boom, boom. Now, I know everything's already pre-lubed, but I'm gonna go ahead and re-lube it again just cause I want y'all to see the things that I do as I'm putting stuff back. This is just me. You don't have to, you can. This is my method, and it works wonders. Now, I have two 220s here. On my intake side, there's a 225 and a 230. Don't know why it's that way. That's just what it required. So that's where they're at now. 225, 230. So as you're putting this cam here back in place, now you get to see it. You get a little rub around on there. Because shit is tacky. That's what you want. The tackier, the better. Even rub on the... See? Even though my intakes, I usually have 2 zip ties, but we're not gonna, you're not worried about that, because watch this, just watch. Now as you're setting this back in place, all you wanna do is rock it. Rock it. And you'll know what I mean by rock it, because when you finally rock into place, your cam is gonna drop a certain way. Like, see? That's not right. So what I'm gonna have to do now is I'm gonna have to re-bring it out, set my camera in there, give it a good old little pull. I'm gonna shoot over and line that backside up, then drop. Keep in mind, you just wanna keep all this stuff rubbed up and tacky. Now, watch this. She's there. We're still in time. Now watch this. Time. 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 Now, let's count dots. Or links, whatever people like to call them. I call them the little dots. I'm sorry how my stuff falling in the way. Put these jacket up. It's gonna be right there. We go. Be up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, actually, we can do it like this. It's so much better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15, let me see it. 15 link. 15 of these exactly from there to there. Make sure if you even can go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15. Dot to dot. So you know you're in time. So now, what I like to do is here, I like to sometimes push in the tensioner and then watch your dots line up even more, which is okay. Now this kind of has some rock in it. It's because it's still loose. What I do is, see here how it's just slightly above? That's what I like. I personally like to do that. And I'm gonna tighten my cam on right there. Because when I tighten it up, and it's gonna pull this side down. Even if you tighten it up with this dot, just touching like there. When you tighten it up, it's gonna even up to there. So don't worry about that. This is all gonna even out. But she's in time. This is still in time. So what you do now is you're gonna get your cap. Be sure your dowels are in place. Drop your screws in there. Get them all a good hand tight. Now, if I need to go back and make a video to do the intake, I don't mind. I do that too. But it's gonna be the same process for both sides, no matter what. Like I say, just do one at a time. And as long as you're doing that, you have nothing to worry about. Because is it a hard job? Yes. Is it frustrating? Yes. Is it confusing? Yes. But can it be done? Yes. You just have to not rush yourself. Don't overthink it. Be sure your cam rings are right. Be sure everything that's in there when you take it off is going back in the exact same motion. All I'm doing now is I'm just tightening them up till they need to be tightened. Just till it stops. Like no more pressure, like racket just stops. And now I go back to where I started at. What I'm gonna do is I want y'all to see all these turns I make. Because 7 foot-pounds is not a lot. Like, these bolts are gonna stop. You're going to feel them stop, where they won't turn no more. And all it should be is like a firm handshake. Like, they should all be that tight, and that's good. Now, once you got all that back, everything's in place, timing chain could be as loose as it fucking wants. Some people say tighten up your tensioner. You don't have to do all that. You're gonna bring out your fillers again. I know mine 10 is this gold brass one. So I'm gonna shoot for this gold brass filler real quick. Quick wipe off. Next, let's see if you can read that. Don't think so, actually. Kinda, yeah. 0.10, so you can see exactly where I'm at. Same thing is on that side, on the intake side. What you want. Valve cover don't move. Nothing moves. Now watch this. Now watch if I go up a size. 11. It's a little bit thicker. I'm having to almost force it under there. See? It's not what you want. No, that's too big. So that still tells me that I need to be at this 0.10. Now, this one comes with 2 0.10s on here, so I'm gonna use the other one just to verify we're at the right side. 0.10 all the way through, we're good. Valve clearance is now set, back in spec. You got your exhaust at 0.6, your intake at 0.6, your exhaust at 0.10. Got your spark plug in there. Nothing's in my spark plug hole. Just to verify. Just go a quick snap up. Perfect. Boom. And then what I like to do after that is prep work. All this extra oil and stuff that's sitting around the lip. I usually have a rag out here, but I don't right now. But just a piece of tissue I have lying around my greenhouse out here. Just gonna clean up that lip. It's gonna be oil on it already, yeah, but that's okay. When you're going to put this stuff back in there, it need to be clean. All this on this. Okay. Right there has to be cleaned off of there. That's what you see me doing now. It's all. I just like to use my fingernail because I know I have long nails, but I like to actually feel what I'm pulling off. So I know for a fact when I get to a certain point how much I should already have under my nail or accumulate it, because I can really feel it right there and just pull it all out of there. Oh, I'm so sorry. Damn, my phone is slid. Always want to make sure this stuff here is clean. This stuff comes back out, it's tacky, it'll work its way down. It won't really harm nothing. It's just get in the habit of having a clean work area as you're starting to put new chemicals on top of stuff. Like I'm using gray silicone. Some people use copper, use whatever you choose fit. But on all my bikes, from my ltr450 to my KX500, this is just what I've always used. This stuff is amazing. Cleanup's easy. If a piece does fall off, it'll work its way out, down and out. It's gonna catch up, kink up, gum up. None of that. I'm not sponsored by this shit. I just buy it because it's what my pop-off always used and it's the same thing I always use. It's a way of life. Look at there, see? I'm all nice and clean. Intake nice and clean. That's what I'm doing now, clean this intake side. Oh, pretty, pretty, pretty. So let me give it switch hands for a minute, sorry. And sometimes even a paper towel or a shop rag, so once it feels that dry texture, it sticks and it just runs off. Some people get that lucky. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. As you can see, I'm more of use my hand and grab it. As you can see, there's still a piece in there. If you ever come to that, here's an easy fix for all of that. Usually some small needle nose pliers or reach down in there and pull it out. Sometimes not even that, but do it. So all I like to do is take the pliers and rub it on one side of it like that. Try and get it to the top. Usually by that time I can just take my hand and push it out of there. Boom. Then it comes to these pieces down here at the bottom. Just take your little rag and wipe out. One motion, don't stop midway through, just get it and go. There. Finish drying off all that excess oil on the top. Get my silicone. Alright, get relined up here so we can see exactly my process. To me, that's a good starting amount. That's a good starting amount. Because you're gonna put more on there, yes, but like I say, you're gonna start there at the corner. I usually do my corner here. That's just to have it done. Sometimes I even go all the way. Because I'm gonna go back and thin that out. Some people say I only do the bowls and the lips. A little bit more. And the edges. Edging. Boom. To me, that's perfect. Perfect. Now, you want to do the same thing to your intake side. Sorry, I can't move the camera right now. I got this stuff all on my hands. Want to just get in here, get it on there. I'll show you how it looks after I'm finished. If you've made this far, and thank you for sticking around. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what more y'all would like to see done. I've been doing a lot to the LTR myself. Now that I've learned all the major mechanic parts of it, I can do everything here at home. To me, that's a bonus. You're gonna come back now, get your, I forget what these things are called. I'm so bad with names and parts and all that stuff. But you're gonna clean these up. So, gonna clean these up. All I like to do is now if you have some solder fluid or brake clean, car cleaner, it'll work. They usually bring it off too quicker than anything else. They say sometimes you could take a shop right piece of tissue and get it off. All right, back where I was. Yeah. So make sure you get these cleaned up really well. The better you clean them, the better it's gonna adhere and stick. Now that stuff that you put on there, it takes a while to dry. As you can see, I've already put it on there and I'm still cleaning this rubber piece. That's just something I just have it, and I've always had good seal every time, no air leaks, any of that. Keep your lid clean out nice and good. Boom. Now, before you do anything else about putting this thing back, just grab this little zip tie, snap her off. Literally that simple. You're gonna slide it over everything. What I like to usually do, I like to just go ahead and set these bad boys in place with a nice firm pressing. See, you seeing all that tack up and get sticky? That's what you want. Nice. See how, but these didn't move? Once again, that's what you want. So then all you're gonna do now is just take your lid, move this extra stuff out your way. The back side should stay, should still be connected. It usually sticks more than what the front does. Just go around, push it under and push it down. And it's going to completely seal. Is it going to stay sealed? No, you're gonna have to line it up once you're done. But that's usually it right there. And now comes the easy part. All I do is I like to just these hands started in there, both of them, boom, boom, and then I'm gonna go back and grab it's the T30. Set you there for a second. And get your T40 torque bit. Obviously how much pressure it is. The bolt stops itself, just snug it up. Switch sides. Done. With that being said, you're gonna put your spark plug back in there. Your vent hose. Then you're gonna take your clamp over there and drop it into place. Then you're gonna take this bolt out of here, put it in here. Once again, bring back the, oh, not the T30. I mean, that's the T40. This one's the smaller bit. T30. Not that it has to be used. I have the Allen for that one. Literally just sit right here. Boom, boom. So that being said, it's gonna let me know everything's in here to where it needs to be. This is now all put back up top. You're good to go. Get me a crate. Remove my shin kit. Now, we're gonna close this up. It's so hard to do all of this without a phone stand. Keep putting it. Now all you're doing is just putting everything back. Yeah, if y'all need a video on how to replace timing chain, pull flywheel, I can do all of that. But before you get started on that, you're gonna need a Tuss 38 by 1.5 flywheel puller to take off this bad boy here. And there by hand. Tight to me. Tight to me. Now all this is back in place. Now you're gonna start on this, your tensioner. Which means you're gonna come up top. You're gonna get your we're going to get our spring, same order it came off in. We're going to actually, no, I usually put it in now just simply because I just know the how it's going to be. But the T30 torque bit that you use for that top bolt up there works for these two. So what I like to do is I like to go in here, get these completely snug up. I'm gonna use the Allen to tighten it up, but I get it snug, and then I bring out the handy dandy Allen wrench. And we're gonna just go. That's good for me. I was in tires my whole life, so me knowing torque specs is hands-on is just something I'm pretty good at. That's all you gotta do. You're gonna hear it click. You're gonna hear it do all of that. It's kind of a fight. Yes. One-handed, is it hard? Yes. Give me 1 second. It's usually a hassle to get it on, but it's easier to do it with the fuel pump off than with the fuel pump on. And all I usually do is I just use one hand to hold pressure on and just let one spin. And I keep spinning and spinning and spinning until I feel the threads catch. And once it catch, I'm good. Like, get me a 12 mil ratchet. I have 2. No, I don't want a piece of shit. And usually, I usually get this as tight, as close as I can by hand, really till it usually allow you to get it till it closes up. And just come behind here with just a little bit of force. There, to me, that's tight. That's beyond tight. Your timing chain is gonna be tight. Your head's torqued down tight to spec. You got your LTR back into valve clearance spec. Now when it comes to this bad boy, do you see how that is turned? This needs to be how you do it, putting it onto the bike. Simply because it's just gonna be so much easier. And plus, when you need to turn this onto the bike, you can do so. But putting it in, has to be by far the easiest way. But you can do it however you think is easy. This is my way. What I do is I shove it all the way in. Bring my black clip out. I do not plug up. I just align it. There. It's not plugged in, it's just there. Since we know it's gonna fit now, we push it into place. Snapped in. Perfect. Putting my phone in the holster so I can get a better read of it. So I can get both hands free to give you a pretty good video. Right there, okay. So now we're gonna just click it. Sure it doesn't come off. So now you have both your hoses out. You're gonna get the 2 bolts that hold in your fuel pump. And that's it. Once you get this one in, the other one will be cake. And before you get it too tight, just get this one started. There, so that way it gives you all your connectors up top. Your fuel pump is now in place, in proper place, I should say. All your wires are tucked behind. Things all tucked up good, and you're gonna look. The reason I say put it out like that, because that's where you're trying to fit this one back at. Mine has like a specific groove for it. It didn't work this way there. So now, Where's my extension at? You just want to get it in there till it's tight. No more. Don't want to tear off a bolt. Oh, that isn't needed. Right there. Your fuel pump's back in place, ready for your gas tank to come on. Last but not least, don't forget to connect this. All you're gonna do is just pull it around everything. It has some pull to it. Set it in there, and with she's in. Quick, now all your hoses are back. Everything's back in place, ready for your gas tank to be put back. You're still in perfect time because your bike hasn't rocked out. Fuel pump's all nice and tight, and you square. And the gas tank. You know, a lot of y'all's gonna ask, when it comes to this swirl filter right here, mine never, ever stayed here. So I don't know. Mine does this. As I'm putting it into place, it sits like that. That's all that sticks out. That's all I ask. So I fit this into there first. Then I drop my gas tank, or I'll pull off this hose here, and disconnect that one there. Put this in there first, then put it back, and everything else on it. But I know how to do it, all of that, without taking all of that extra stuff off. I just align my whole gas tank as one piece, and I slap it in there as one piece. Then I connect my bottom connector and that connector, then all my hoses and the TP, it's not the low fuel sensor. And we call it a day. So she's still going through another deep cleaning cycle, so we'll get back to that. Like I say, that's how you put your LTR 2006 Suzuki ltr450 into valve spec. That's how you check your clearance on both. Like, it's not hard, don't overthink it, and you got it. Peace.